Good job, Chili Dog. All right, welcome back to day 25 of our 30-day loose leash walking challenge. We're getting through it, guys. You're doing great. Today we are going to be working on your dog's sit-stay, which feels sort of irrelevant to a little bit of your loose leash walking, but it is another aspect of communication that I want you guys to start to practice and understand with your leash communication. So I can already hear a lot of you going, but Kristen, my dog knows a stay. Do they know a stay, or do they understand that when you're asking them to wait or stay or putting your hand in front or something like that, that they must wait in that position? But then the moment that you stop saying stay or wait or having your hand out in front, then they break position. So we're gonna start to understand the communication that we're giving to our dog doesn't always have to be so communicative. We want them to understand, like, hey, just stay in that position. I'll just let you know when you're done with it. Okay, so in just a minute, you're gonna see me working with Ziggy the Border Collie. So yes, a very keen learner. We're gonna be working on the sit as the first command, like we were doing with Olive the other day, but now we're gonna be adding in a little bit of pressure in terms of staying in position. So you'll see me sort of try and distract him a little bit, and this is because I actually do want Ziggy to sort of make a little bit of an error, which seems kind of funny, but this whole idea of errorless learning is a little bit wild to me. So if you've ever heard of flow state, where you're kind of like just like in the groove, you're setting things up, it's like time doesn't exist. In that sort of like best learning situation for our dogs are probably making about like 20-ish% mistakes. As long as we can fix it up in a timely communication, that actually allows for some really nice learning. So that flow state is not necessarily perfection, but it's just like, you know, fixing yourself up as you go. So if your dog makes a mistake here, it's totally fine. So what you're gonna see with Ziggy, he gets into the sit position, he's really rock solid. Your dog might not be as rock solid. So when they get into the sit, make sure that they're sitting on the first command, and then you're gonna start to take one step out, and then if they're doing really well, you can reward them in position, but we're also gonna start to rewarding out of position. Remember that, again, the biggest thing here, that if they make a mistake, they get out of that sit before you release them, or no, sit, and then you put them back into that sit position. So it's just tidying up the mistakes as you go and rewarding the good repetitions as you go as well. So when we're starting to expect some higher level things from our dogs, we also have to expect ourselves to be pretty high level too. So make sure that when you start to work on some of these stability positions like sit, stand, drop, or even place, it's all the same sort of ideas behind it. So now you have a bit of a baseline and you can apply it to other static positions as well too. Make sure that you're always kind of thinking to yourselves, okay, I've got my dog in a position. Do they understand when it's done? You must be the one to communicate that with us. So how we can communicate, hey, you're done with that position now, is we can use let's go, move with me on my left-hand side. You might go back into that loose leash walk if you're doing it on your walk, for example. You could send your dog into free or calm liberty with whatever kind of cue that you give. I might send my dog off into calm liberty with, you know, less than like 40% excitement levels with like enough, and then they're done and they can just go cruise and hang out, or into like a little bit more of a higher like free liberty with off you go. You could also ask for a different position. So if you ask for the sit and then maybe you ask for the stand or the drop, that implicitly tells the dog, all right, you're done with the sit, now you must stand or drop in that example. You could also do a reward with like get it for get the food or toy and you throw it away from your dog. You could also do yes, which means that they're done, come take the reward from you. So there's plenty of different ways, but if we put our dogs into a position, we must be thinking about how we're going to get them out of position. So as you start to think about that for this sit stay, also see if you can apply that to other things that you're doing with your dog on a day-to-day basis. Nice. All right, let's see that demonstration with Ziggy. And as always, make sure to grab your phone so you can film things. If anything goes wrong, you can always send it through and we can help you guys out. So grab your phone, your hungry dog, make sure that you've got some of their food that you've got in your treat pouch or your pocket. Have some fun this way. Good. All right, so we got Ziggy. He's a Border Collie cross. He's probably going to be too good of a demo for this, but we're just going to be talking about if I give a command for my dog, I want them to be able to listen to it the very first go. So we did that with Olive a couple of days ago. And so now we're going to have our sit become a sit-stay. So a lot of people say stay or wait to their dog, but for most of our static positions of what we do, I actually just want them to hold a sit and just await further instructions. So we always have a start to the command, which is our sit command, and then maybe let's go or free or break or whatever you want to do, say to the dog to say like, hey, you're done doing that thing. It can also be a release to like get it for food or yes to come back to me for the food. So it could be a bunch of different things. There always needs to be a start and there always needs to be an end. The big thing here that if Ziggy breaks position, and we might even use a stick as like a little bit of a distraction for him, if he breaks position before I have said any of those releases, so our release again could be let's go, move off with me. It could be yes, you're done there, come take food from me. It could be get it, go get the food or the toy away from me. Or asking for a different position is probably the biggest ones. So unless I say that, he must stay in that sit position. I will be able to kind of over time show him a bit of context, and this is where it's going to be like we can even test the dog a little bit at like crosswalks, for example. So when they come, like what we were doing with Olive of sitting at the crosswalks, if I step out with my right foot first, that should mean to the dog, hey, you stay there. Whereas when we move off together, let's go. Get you away from that stick, but if I move off with my left foot first, that should mean to the dog, hey, move off with me. Oh, sorry, bud. Like you're coming with me now. Whereas a static left foot with a right foot out should mean to the dog, hey, stay in that position. Particularly on the left-hand side, it makes it quite easy. So again, more applicable for like when we're crossing the roads, but this is just kind of keeping your dog a little bit just keeping their brain switched on. Like, are you paying attention and making sure that if he gets out of that sit position, sit, we're gonna put him back into that sit. So it's holding our dog accountable, which again is going to increase that relationship of like, oh, there's boundaries and rules and structures here that mom and dad know how to enforce for me. So it does give the dog a little bit of a sense of like, okay, I'm happy to do what you need me to do. All right, let's go, Zay. We'll get you all reset. Now he's got a pretty good automatic sit. Nope. So when he comes here, I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't have to ask for the sit. Good. Sit. He was already about to go into it. So I can kind of move around, just see if there's anything that I can do to kind of get him to break position. Now because he is doing quite well, I can reward him. Good. Step out with my right foot, anchoring him into that stay. So I can start to just do a little bit of distractors here. Good. You're gonna be too good of a demo dog. Nice, good job, Zig. Good. Too clever. Let's go. Nice. So it's okay. He's a wonderful demo. He's doing far too well. So what we can at least talk through, Ziggy. Nice. Good. Sit. So with my leash handling that you can focus on as well too, is yes, I'm coming out to the end of the leash. If your dog can't handle this, nope. Good. Sit. So just a couple of pops. So I think he thought, oh, she's not really paying. Nope. Sit. Good. Good. So we got out of the sit into the drop. It is a sit and await further instruction. Nice job, bud. I think you've just got a funny sit there. Nice. But notice how it's a nope, and then back into that sit position. I use those same little pops on the collar that we are, like slip leash collar, whatever equipment that you're using, as, nope, good, almost, just readjusting himself there. That looks much more comfortable here, you dude, good. So with my leash handling, I can give him that correction by moving my hand up the leash to then be able to give those little pops back into the sit if I need to. I can still have my thumb grip at the end of the leash here, but as I'm working on the sit stay, I always sort of give myself a little bit of that guidance that if I need to, I can come back in and just give him that little bit of correction back into the sit. Let's go. Super boy, super boy. So that was something that I wanted to just show everybody for the leash handling for your stays. It'll look a little bit different for a drop stay, but just for right now, we're just working on that sit stay, just for a little bit more ease. Most dogs already know a sit, and now we're just teaching a little bit of like, hey, just stay in position for a little bit longer. So the big things for today to focus on for your sit stay, you can do this in the backyard, you can do it out at a park or something like that. That's where we are at the moment. We're outside of Ziggy's home, obviously, is working on the sit. So asking for it once, following up for like what we did in the video with Olive earlier in the week. Good job, bud. So you ask for your sit once, make sure that you follow up to make sure that they do go into that sit. We don't want our sit to be 5 sits, we just want it to be 1 sit. If they get out of position here, making sure that we go, nope, back into the sit position. And again, making sure, nope, sit is just once. We don't want 5 sits, but we're holding our dog accountable for this position. And the last thing to focus on is if we ask for the sit, we must release them out from that position as well too. So sort of 3 things to focus on. Sit, giving it once, holding them accountable for the position, and ending the position. Nice job, Ziggy. We turned out to be a good demo after all. Ziggy, let's go. Good job, bud. All right, we'll see if we can do a little like tester. I don't think there's a crosswalk necessarily super close by. Good job, Ziggy. Ziggy. Sit. Sit. Good. Nope. Sit. Let's go. Yeah, you're paying attention, bud. Ziggy. Sit. So helping him out a little bit. Good. That's better. So what helped him was taking a step out first. And he's like, oh, a sit stay. Good. Good. Nice. Let's go. Thanks for watching today's video. My name is Kristen from Salty Pack. If you're looking for any individualized help with your dog, either in person or virtually, you can find us at saltypack.com.au, or you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at saltypackdogs. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.